Clear with the first 10 questions, right? Any doubt in the first 10 questions? No. See here. 11th one. Please see your 11th question. It's a very easy question once you understand the concept. See here. The average age of 8 persons in a committee is increased by 2 years when two men aged 35 years and 45 years are substituted by two women. Find the average age of these two women. You need to find the average of two women. See here. First of all, let us understand the question again. The average age of 8 persons in a committee is increased by 2 years. That means there are 8 people in the committee. I am discussing the 11th question. There are 8 people in the committee. Average is increased by 2 years. What is the meaning of average is increased by 2 years? All 8 persons age is increased by 2 years. That means total age of all 8 people. It is increased by 2 into 8. Every person's age is increased by 2 into 8 years. That means total age of all 8 people, it is increased by 16 years. Right? Total age of all 8 people is increased by 16 years. Now see here, total age is increased by 16 years. When this total age is increasing by 16 years, when two men aged 35 years and 45 years are substituted by two women. That means there are 8 people sitting inside the class. Average age was something or the total age was something. We don't know how much is that. Now, I will call 2 people. I will call 2 men. I will ask 2 men to get up and I will ask them to go out of the class. Whatever they are going, their ages are 35 and 45 years. Right? Their ages are 35 and 45 years. That means total ages of those 2 men is nothing but it is given by 35 plus 45 years. 35 plus 45 years, which is nothing but 80 years. I am asking the total age of 80 years to go outside the class. I am asking 2 women to come inside the class. When those 2 women came inside, it is increased by 16 more years. Total age is increased by 16 more years. That means those 2 women also are bringing 80 years. Plus they are bringing additional 16 years. That means total ages of those two women is nothing but whatever the 80 years which the men went out, that also they are carrying and they are bringing 16 years extra. The total ages of those two women is nothing but 96 years. So, but the average is asked in the question. They are not asking the total of the 2 women. They are asking the average of the 2 women. Therefore, average is nothing but sum of the quantities by number of quantities. Average of 2 women is given by sum of the quantities. Sum of 2 women is nothing but total sum is nothing but 96 divided by 2 women. 96 by 2. It is 48 years. Answer for this question is 48 years. Clear with the approach? Again I repeat. There are some 8 men sitting inside the class. Average age was something. I don't know how much it is. I am asking 2 men to get up and I am asking you to go outside the class. Those 2 men are replaced by 2 women. And the 2 men, whoever I am asking to go out, they are 35 and 45 years respectively. That means the sum of their ages is 35 plus 45. It is 80 years. Suppose, for example, I am asking 2 women to come inside. Those 2 women's sum is also 80. Then there is no change in the average. I am asking 80 to go out. I am asking 80 to come inside. But I am not asking the women who are 80 years of age sum, having the sum as 80. What is that is given in the question? Whenever those 2 women come inside the class, average is increased by 2 years. Average of 8 people increases by 2 years means each person's age is increased by 2 years. That means total age is increased by 8 into 2 years, which is nothing but 16 years. That means those 2 women are bringing 16 years more than those 2 men who went outside. The ages of those 2 men is 18 and these 2 women are bringing 16 extra. Total ages of those 2 women will be 80 plus 16, 96. But I am not interested in total ages. I am interested in average. Average is sum of the quantity divided by 2. Divided by 2 because 2 men are there. 96 by 2 is 48 years. Clear with the application, right? It's a very simple way of solving. Please do not make yourself complicated by using any variables or formulas and some things like that. Clear with the application, sir? Please write down this question. We'll also discuss few other problems also which involve the same application. Please do not use any variables to solve this kind of question. Please do not take it as X and make yourself complicated. Right? Please write down this question. Right? Any doubt in 11th question? Can I move on to the next question? See here. Question number 12. Please see here. Question number 12. Your question number 11 says average is increased by 2 years. Now see the question number 12. In a class there are 20 boys whose average age is decreased by 2 months. It is decreased by 2 months. It is not in years also. Please be very careful. In a class there are 20 boys whose average age is decreased by 2 months. When one boy aged 18 years is replaced by a new boy. When one boy aged 18 years is replaced by a new boy. Find the age of the new boy. Find the age of the new boy. See here. It's a question on decrease. Average is decreasing. It's the same approach. Whether it is increase or decrease. It makes no difference. See here. There are 20 boys in the class. Average age is decreased by 2 months. What is the meaning of average age is decreased by 2 months? All 20 boys age is decreased by 2 months. That means total age of the entire class of 20 students, it is decreased by 20 into 2 months. Right? One person's age is decreased by 2 months. 20% age is decreased by 20 into 2. Total ages of all 20 boys, is decreased by 2 into 20 months. That means 40 months. That is, it is nothing but 40 months. What is 40 months? 40 months is nothing but 3 years and 4 months. It is 3 years and 4 months. 36 months is nothing but 3 years and 4 months. That means average of 20 boys is decreased by 2 months. Is also equivalent to saying total ages of all 20 boys is decreased by 2 into 20 months, which is nothing but 3 years and 4 months. Now see here. When is this decrease happening? When is the total decreasing by 3 years and 4 months? It is happening only when a new student is coming and joining. And the new student is replacing an existing student whose age is 18 years. That means initially 20 students were sitting in the class. One student age was 18 years. Suppose for example, I am the new student who is joining the class. Assume that my age is also 18. The person who is sitting in the class, one person's age is 18. I am asking that person to go outside the class, and I am sitting inside the class. Assume that my age is also 18 years. If my age is also same as that person's age, will the total age decrease? No, the total age will not decrease. It will remain the same. How much was there earlier? Same thing will be there finally also. But my age is not 18 years because it is said that the total age is decreased by 3 years and 4 months. That means he is 18 years of age who went outside the class. I am the new person who is joining inside the class. Because I joined and he left, the total age is decreased by 3 years and 4 months. That means my age will be less than 3 years and 4 months compared to the person who left the class. Right? Compared to the person who left the class. What is the age of that person? His age is 18 years. That means I will be 3 years and 4 months less than 18 years. That means my age is new person's age is or new boy's age is less than 3 years and 4 months less than 18 years, which is nothing but 18 minus 3 years and 4 months. 18 minus 3 years and 4 months is nothing but how much it is? 18 minus 3 is 15. So it is 14 years and 8 months. Answer for this question is 14 years and 8 months. The age of the new boy is 14 years and 8 months. Clear with the approach? Because his age is 18 and he is leaving the class. If I am also 18, then there is no change in the total. But there is a change in total. The total is decreased by 3 years and 4 months. That means I am carrying a age which is less than 3 years and 4 months compared to the person who left the class. His age is 18. I am 3 years and 4 months less than 18. 18 minus 3 years 4 months. It is 14 years and 8 months. Clear with the approach? It's a very simple way of solving. If you observe, all these problems we are solving only by one concept. What is that concept? We discussed initially, I think around 45 minutes before we discussed that concept. That is nothing but if all the numbers in the given series is 20, then the average is also 20, right? If all the person is some age x years, then the average is also x. Same concept we are using here also. There is no change in the concept. concept remains the same. Only the thing is the way of asking that question is different. Clear with the approach? Please write down this question. Question number 12. 11th question is the question where an average is increasing. 12th is the question where an average is decreasing. Please write it down. Clear with the application? Please clear. 13th question. 13th one is a very good question. Listen to this very carefully. If you have any doubt, please stop me in the middle, sir. Please clear. 13th question. 13th one. There were 35 students in a hostel. There were 35 students in a hostel. If the number of students increased by 7, the expenses of the mess increases by 42 rupees per day, while the average expenditure per head diminishes by 1 rupee. Find the original expenditure of the method. Now see here. The best way to answer this question is by answer option. The best way to solve this question is by answer option. See here. They are asking what is the original expenditure of the method. Now listen to this carefully. If you observe the answer option, the options given are 420. Second option is 400. Third option is 480. Fourth option is 460. Now see here. What is the question telling? There were 35 students in a hostel. Original number of students is 35. Original number of students initially. Original number of students. It is given in the question as 35. Right? It is given in the question as 35. If the number of students is increased by 7, if the number of students increases by 7, the expenses of the mess increases by 42 rupees per day, while the average expenditure per head diminishes by 1 rupee. Now see here. If the number of students increases by 7, how many students will it become finally? 42, right? Earlier 35 students. Now it becomes 42 students. Final number of students it is 35 plus 7. 35 plus 7 is nothing but 42. Now see here. The best way to solve is by answer option. Why it is? See here. The number of students initially was 35. Finally it is 42. Now, let us assume some options for this original expenditure. We need to find original expenditure. It can be any of these things. Let us go one by one. We shall not start with option A. We shall start with, because the numbers are 35 and 42, let us take the LCM of 35 and 42. What is the LCM of 35 and 42? LCM of 35 and 42 is 420. That means I will assume the original expenditure to be 420. It is the first option. I am not taking first option. It happened to be first option in this case. That's all. I am not telling that because it is the first option. I am choosing 420. I am choosing 420 because it is the LCM of 35 and 42. Why am I choosing LCM? Why am I taking LCM? Because LCM will not give you fractions. That is what we studied in time, speed, and distance, time and work, and so many other topics also. Right? Now see here. Now if you observe, let the original expenditure be 420. Let the original expenditure be 420. This is my assumption. It may or may not be right. Let us check it out whether it is right or not. Let the original expenditure be 420 rupees. Now, it is also said that original number of students, original number of students, it is given as 35. That means there are 35 students in a hostel and total amount paid by all the 35 students is 420 rupees. That means amount per head or expenditure per head, expenditure per student. Every student how much he paid? 420 divided by 35. Every person paid 12 rupees. 35 into 12 is nothing but 420, right? Every person paid 12 rupees. This is the initial scenario. Now if you observe the second statement says if the number of students is increased by 7. If it is increased by 7, that means if it becomes 42 students, the expenses of the mess increases by 42 rupees per day, while the average expenditure per head diminishes by 1 rupee. What they are telling is average expenditure per head diminishes by 1 rupee means average reduces by 1 rupee means every person will pay 1 rupee less. That means as of now total amount paid. As of now, in the first scenario, total amount paid by these 35 students is it is given at 420 rupees, right? It is assumed as 420 rupees. Now there are 42 students. If there are 42 students, every person's amount will be reduced by 1. Earlier they were paying 12 rupees. Now everyone will pay 11 rupees. Everyone will pay 11 rupees. That means total amount paid by 42 students is 42 into 11. Total amount paid by 42 students is 42 into 11. But when there are 42 students, it is also said in the question that the expenses of the mess increases by 42 rupees per day. That means they should pay 42 rupees extra also. They should pay 42 rupees extra also. That means every person will pay 1 rupee less. But at the end of the day, they should pay 42 rupees extra per day. That means total amount paid by all the students, total amount paid by all students is, in this case it is 42 into 11 plus 42. I think you understood, right, how it is 42 into 11? All 42 will pay 1 rupee less than 12 rupees, that is 11 rupees. And they should pay 42 rupees extra also. They should pay 42 rupees extra also. Total amount paid by all students earlier was 420. Here it is 42 into 11 plus 42. Now if you observe, both of them are there. Both of them are same, equate both of them. If I equate both of them, then it becomes 420. 420 is equal to 42 into 11 plus 42. 42 into 11 plus 42. This becomes 420 is equal to 42 into 11 plus 1. 42 into 11 plus 1. This becomes 420 is equal to. Clear, right? One question. Now see here. 13th one. 13th is a very important question. It's a level 3 question. Listen to this question very carefully. See here. I'll first explain the question, then we'll read the question in the sheet. See here. I'll start writing some natural numbers on the board. I'll start from 1 and I'll sequentially write all the natural numbers on the board. I'll keep on writing all the natural numbers. I don't know how many numbers I'll be writing. I'll keep on writing. After writing all the natural numbers, I will erase the number. I don't know which number also I am erasing. I will erase some number. When I erase the number, there are remaining numbers which are left on the board. I will find the average of the remaining numbers. The average of the remaining numbers. It is found as, it is said to be, average of the remaining numbers is 35 5 by 17. Average of the remaining numbers happen to be 35 5 by 17. Now your question is, how many numbers initially you wrote it on the board before erasing the number, and which number you erased on the board? That is the question. Clear with the question? I kept on writing natural numbers starting from sequentially. After I wrote all the numbers, I erased some number. After erasing a number, I found the average of the remaining number, and the average was found to be 35 5 by 17. How many numbers were written on the board initially, and which number was erased? Please write down the question in the way you understood it. Clear with the question, right? Please write down the question. This is 35 7 by 70. Question clear, right? Now see here. Now let us read the question which is given on the sheet. Same question and explain it from the sheet. See here. What is the question which is written on the sheet here? Consecutive natural numbers starting from 1 were written on a blackboard. That is what I wrote here. Starting from 1 I wrote consecutive natural numbers. A student comes and erases one number. The average of the number after erasing is 35 7 by 17. The average after erasing is 35 7 by 17. Which number is erased and how many numbers were written on the board before erasing? Now see here. Listen to this carefully. No. I wrote some natural numbers. I don't know how many natural numbers I wrote. Before erasing a number, if you observe carefully, before erasing a number, can I tell it as? Before erasing a number, I wrote n natural numbers. Assume that I wrote n numbers. Before erasing a number, the average is nothing but, it is in arithmetic progression. Average is first term plus last term by 2. Right? Average is first term plus last term by 2. Can I say this as, this average as approximately equal to 35 7 by 17? What is that it is given in the question? Average is 35 7 by 17 when a number is erased, after a number is erased. But before erasing a number, can I tell you that it is approximately equal to 35 7 by 17? Just here. If I want to tell you with an example, small example, listen to this carefully. Suppose I have numbers 1 2 and 3. What I will do is, I will find the average of this number. Average of this number is 2, right? Average of this number is 2. I erased some number. Assume that I erased some number. Whatever the number you want, you erase it. Suppose assume that I erased the maximum number, which is 2. After I erased the number, I have two numbers in the series, which is 1 and 2. What is the average of this? Average of this is 1 plus 2 by 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 by 2 is 1.5. Can I say that 1.5 and 2, they are approximately equal to each other? That means there is not much of gap between 1.5 and 2. It is not like something like they are differing by some 1000 units or 10,000 units. It's a small difference of 0.5 between the averages. That is what I wrote here also. Before erasing a number, average actually is 1 plus n by 2, which is first term plus last term by 2. I can approximately tell it as 35, 17, 7 by 17, which is after erasing a number. Clear with that, right? Now if you observe, can I tell that approximately n value? What is the approximate value of n that I can tell? What is 35, 7 by 17? If I approximately take it as 7 by 17, if I take it as 7 by 14, 7 by 14 is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is 0.5. This is approximately 35.5. N value, it has to be 35.5 on the left hand side also. For that to happen, N should be approximately 70, right? N should be approximately 70. That means 1 plus 70 by 2. 71 by 2 is nothing but 35.5. Approximately N is 70. That means what is the meaning of N? There are N numbers written on the board. There are N numbers written on the board. Approximately 70 numbers are written on the board. Approximately. It may or may not be right. Right? Now see here. After erasing a number, if I take after erasing a number, what will be the average? Listen to this carefully. I will erase some number. If I erase the number, average is nothing but sum of the quantity divided by number of quantities. Sum of the quantity divided by number of quantities. And it is given in the question as after erasing a number, the average is exactly equal to 35, 7 by 17. After erasing a number, average is exactly equal to 35, 7 by 17. 35, 7 by 17 is nothing but, if I simplify that, you will get 602 by 17. You will get 602 by 17. Now if you observe here, Sn by n is nothing but 602 by 17. N is equal to 17, but we just now found it that n approximately should be 70. It should be 70, but n actually it is 17 here. Now I should make 17 go close to 70. What is the multiple of 17 which will go close to 70? 17 into 4 is 68. It is approximately equal to 70, right? That means I should multiply and divide by 4. I should multiply and divide by 4. Now this becomes Sn by n is equal to 602 into 4 is 2408 divided by 17 into 4 is 68. 17 into 4 is 68. That means if you observe carefully now, 2408 by 68, there are 68 numbers which were written on the board after erasing a number. After I erase one number, there are 68 numbers which were written on the board. That means how many numbers were written earlier? 69 numbers. After I erase one number, there are 68 numbers. That means before erasing the number, that means initially how many numbers I wrote? Including the numbers which I erased. That is nothing but 68 plus 1. I wrote 69 numbers on the board. So 69 numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. till 69. Average is nothing but sum of the quantity divided by number of quantities. Sum of the quantity is nothing but 1 plus 2 plus 3 up till 69. It is summation of 69 divided by 69. Summation of 69 is nothing but 2415. Summation of 69 is nothing but 2415 divided by 69. Now if you observe, after erasing a number, there are 68 numbers which are written on the board. That means totally there are 69 numbers which were written on the board initially. When I add all those 69 numbers, the sum is 2415. After erasing a number, the sum is 2408. That means what is the number which I erased? The number which I erased is 2415 minus 2408. That means the number erased is 7, right? When I erase the number called as 7 itself, the sum of 2415 will become 2408 because I am erasing a number called as 7. Answer for this question is number erased is 7. Number erased is 7. How many numbers were written on the board? The number of numbers which were written on the board initially were 69 numbers. Answer for this question is 7, 69. Clear with the approach? Understanding it? Anyone needs an explanation? Everyone clear, right? Please write it, sir. It's a very easy way of solving, but it's a very good question. It's a very tricky question. It's a level 3 question. Approach clear, right? Please write. Clear with the 13th question? Now see here. 14th and 15th. These are all very good questions. Please listen to this carefully. 14th question. Please see the 14th question. All the page numbers from a book are added beginning at page 1. However, one page number was mistakenly added twice. The sum obtained was 1000. Which page number was added twice? How many pages does the book contain? How many pages does the book contain? See here. I'll explain this question in a different way. See here. I started writing the natural numbers from 1. I wanted to add all these natural numbers. When I am adding all these natural numbers, by mistake, I added some number twice. That means I was adding 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Next, instead of adding 5, again I added 4 and then continued with 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. Right? I added a number called as 4 twice. For example, I added some number twice. When I added that number twice, the sum when I found for the entire number series, it happened to be 1000. Your question is, which number you added twice? How many numbers were written on the board? Initially, right? I'll again read the question. Same thing is given as page numbers in this question. All the page numbers from a book are added beginning at page number 1. However, one page number was mistakenly added twice. The sum obtained was 1000. Which page number was added twice? How many pages does the book contain? Now see here. If you observe this question carefully, now see here. Before adding a number twice, can I tell it as? Before adding a number twice, the total sum was 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 etc. till n. Sum of n terms is nothing but n into n plus 1 by 2, right? Sum of n terms is nothing but n into n plus 1 by 2. But you added a number twice. After adding a number twice. Now, can I say that after adding a number twice, what did you do is, earlier the sum was n into n plus 1 by 2. Earlier the sum you are getting was n into n plus 1 by 2. You added some number one more time by mistake. Assume that number is called as a. Because you added this number called as a, your sum got 1000. Your sum was 1000. Can I say that the number a, what I am adding one more time, it lies between the number 1 to n. It can be any of these numbers from 1 to n, right? That means a is in the range 1 to n. A can be any number from 1 to n. The number which you are adding twice is nothing but any number from 1 to n, right? Now see here. Can I say that if I take an example here, listen to this example. Suppose I have a series 1, 2, 3. Before adding the number twice, what is the sum? Before adding the number twice, the sum is nothing but 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. Assume that after adding the number twice, assume that I added 3 twice. I added 3 one more time by mistake. So what is the sum now? The sum is nothing but 9. After adding the number twice, you are getting the sum as 9. Before adding the number twice, you are getting the sum as 6. Is there too much of difference between 6 and 9? No, they are approximately equal. There is not like thousands of hundreds of difference between these two quantities. They both are only differing by 3 units. They are approximately equal. That means, can I say it as n into n plus 1 by 2. Before adding the number twice, you are getting the sum as n into n plus 1 by 2. That is approximately equal to 1000. From the same logic what I discussed here, right? Can I also say it as n and n plus 1? N and n plus 1 both are consecutive natural numbers, right? They are both are consecutive natural numbers. Because they are consecutive natural numbers, they both are approximately same. Can I say it as n plus 1 also approximately equal to n? N plus 1 is approximately equal to n itself, right? Because they are consecutive natural numbers. Now if I simplify, this is n into n is n square. N square is approximately equal to 1000. This becomes n square is approximately equal to 2000. 1000 into 2 is nothing but 2000. N square by 2 is approximately 1000. N square is approximately equal to 2000. Now, take a number which is a perfect square less than 2000, which is just less than 2000. Take a number, find out a number which is a perfect square which is just less than 2000. What is that number? That number is 44. 44 is the number which is a perfect. What is 44 square? 44 square is 1936. 1936 is a number which is just less than 2000 and is a perfect square. That means n is equal to 44. You might ask me a doubt. Here all we use it as approximation symbol. Immediately we wrote it as equal to. Why are we changing this approximately equal to symbol to exactly equal to symbol, right? What is your doubt here? How are you concluding that it is definitely 44? Why not less than 44 or why not greater than 44? That also we'll discuss after we complete this question. Till here any doubt? Take a number which is a perfect square just less than 2000. That number happened to be 44. That means n is equal to 44. What is the meaning of n is equal to 44? There are 44 numbers which were written on the board. There were 44 numbers which were written on the board. That means starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. The last number is 44th number. That means summation of 44 is 44 into 45 by 2. Summation of 44 is 44 into 45 by 2. It is 44 into 22. 22 into 45. 22 into 45 is 990. Actually you wrote 44 numbers. Actually the sum of the 44 numbers which you wrote, it is actually 990. But you added a number by mistake one more time. By mistake you added one more time a number. Because you added a number one more time, the sum which are supposed to be 990, it became 1000. The sum became 1000. What is the number you added twice then? The number you added twice is 1000 minus 990. Answer for this question is 10. Answer for this question is 10. Clear with the approach? That means there were 44 numbers which were written on the board and the number which was added twice is 10. Actually 44 numbers if you add, it is 990 sum. But the sum you got because you added the number twice by mistake is 1000. That means the number which you have added one more time extra is 10. Clear with the approach, right? We'll also discuss how did we write it as equal to, why not approximate? Why can't we take a number which is less than 44 or why can't we take a number which is greater than 44? That approach also we will discuss after you write down this. First write down this approach. Clear with the application? Now see here. Now let us see. How can we directly conclude that n is equal to 44 exactly? Why not less than 44? Why not greater than 44? Please listen to this. Listen to this carefully. Suppose, let us take some examples which is less than 44. Let us take n is equal to 20. Let us take n is equal to 20. What is the meaning of n is equal to 20? N is equal to 20 means there are 20 natural numbers which were written on the blackboard or any board. There were 20 natural numbers which were written on the board. If I find the sum of all these 20 natural numbers, summation 20 is 20 into 21 by 2. 20 into 21 by 2. This is nothing but 210. This is nothing but 210. That means you actually wrote 20 numbers. When you added all those numbers, the sum you got is 210. The sum you got is 210. You by mistake you added a number one more time. Assume that the number which you are adding by mistake, assume that it is 20. Let us take the maximum number itself. Assume that you are adding the maximum number itself to this sum. If I add the maximum number itself, the sum happened to be 230. But the question says when you added a number twice, the sum happened to be 1000. 230 is not equal to 1000. Therefore it cannot be 20. Therefore n cannot be 20. Clear with the approach? Suppose. Let me take one more number which is less than 44. If I take n as 30, meaning of 30 is I wrote 30 consecutive natural numbers on the board. If I add all these numbers initially, summation 30 is 30 into 31 by 2. 30 into 31 by 2 is nothing but 15 into 31. 15 into 31 is 15 into 30 is 450. It is 450 plus 15. 450 plus 15 is 465. That means initially you wrote 30 natural numbers. The sum happened to be 465. Actual sum is 465. But by mistake you added a number one more time. Assume that you added the maximum number itself. Even if you add the maximum number by mistake, the sum will become 495. But according to the question, when you added the number twice, the sum was supposed to be 1000. Therefore, it cannot be 30 also. Therefore, n cannot be 30 also. Clear with the approach? Now see. Listen to this. Suppose if I take a number which is less than 44, just less than 44, I will take a number 43. Assume that n is equal to 43. If I take 43, there are 43 numbers which are written on the board. There were 43 numbers which were written on the board. I add all these numbers. Summation 43 is 43 into 44 by 2. 43 into 44 by 2 is 43 into 22. It is 43 into 22. 43 into 20, it is 860. 42 into 2, it is 86. 860 plus 86 is 946. It is 946. This is before you added the number twice. Assume that you added some number one more time. Even if you add the maximum number 43 which is in the series, 946 plus 43, it is nothing but 989. But according to the question, the sum is 1000. The sum can never be 1000. Therefore, n is equal to 43 is also incorrect. Understanding the approach, n is equal to 43 is also incorrect. Now let us take a number which is just greater than 44. Which is just greater than 44. Which is nothing but 45. If I take n is equal to 45, if I take n is equal to 45, there were 45 natural numbers which were written on the board. There were 45 natural numbers which were written on the board. I added all these numbers. Summation 45 is 45 into 46 by 2. 45 into 46 by 2 is 45 into 23. 45 into 23 is, it is 45 into 20 900. 45 into 3 is 135. 900 plus 135 is 1035. 1035. Now if you observe, if I write 45 natural numbers on the board, before adding the number twice itself, I am getting a sum which is greater than 1000. If I add the lowest number also, even at the worst case scenario, even if I add the lowest number in the series, which is 1, the sum happened to be 1036. But actually the sum should be 1000. 1000 and 1036, they are not equal to each other. Therefore, n also cannot be equal to 45. That means n can never be less than 44, n can never be greater than 44 also. That means n has to be equal to 44. That is the reason we wrote it as n is equal to 44 in that example. Clear with the approach, right? I think the proof is clear, right? Why it is not less than 44? Why it is not greater than 44? Why we remove that approximate symbol and wrote it as equal? This is the proof. Clear with the approach, sir? Everyone clear, right? Please write it. This is how you need to understand. You need to understand how to solve a particular question. It is not about solving, sir. It is about how you solve the question. How you solve the question will make a lot of difference in your examination hall. Clear? Please write down. Understand each and every point and then write it. Any doubt in 14th question? Clear? Question number 15. See here. It's the reverse of previous question. Once you understand this concept, these are very, very easy questions. 15th question. See here. First I will explain you the question. Question number 15. I started writing some natural numbers on the board. I wanted to add all these natural numbers, but by mistake, while adding all these natural numbers, I forgot to add one number. I forgot to add one number. Because I forgot to add one number, the sum happened to be 575. The sum happened to be 575. Your question is, which is the number you forgot to add? How many numbers were written on the board initially? Clear with the question? Your 14th question is a question where you are adding a number twice. Now you are forgetting a number to add. You are forgetting the number to add. Clear with the question? Now read the question in the sheet. All page numbers are from a book are added, beginning at page number 1. However, the student forgot to add a page number. The sum obtained was 575. Which page number he forgot to add? How many pages does the book contain? How many pages does the book contain? See here. Same approach like the previous question. Listen to this carefully. Suppose, before forgetting to add, before forgetting to add a number, what will be the sum? You will add all these things. 1 plus 2 plus 3 etc. till n is nothing but summation of n terms is n into n plus 1 by 2. Right? N into n plus 1 by 2. But you forgot to add one number. After forgetting to add a number. Before forgetting, you are having the total sum as n into n plus 1 by 2. But out of these numbers which were written, one number you forgot to add. Assume that is number A. I don't know which is that number. I am calling that number as A. Because I am forgetting to add, I will take out that number from the entire sum. Now the sum happened to be 575. Sum happened to be 575. Can I say that this A can be any number from 1 to n? It can take any number from 1 to n, right? So A lies between 1 to n. Now see here. Same approach. This A, before forgetting to add, the sum was n into n plus 1 by 2. After forgetting to add, it is minus A, one extra is there. I can say that they both are approximately equal. Like the way I told in the previous problem. It is the same approach. There is no change in the approach. That means I can write it as n into n plus 1 by 2 is approximately equal to 575. Again, n and n plus 1, they both are consecutive natural numbers. That means n plus 1 can approximately take as n itself. So n into n is nothing but n square. N square by 2 is approximately 575. N square is approximately 575 into 2. 575 into 2 is 1150. N square is approximately 1150. Now, find out a perfect square which is just greater than 1150. What is a perfect square which is just greater than 1150? A perfect square which is just greater than 1150 is 1156. That is nothing but 34 square. 34 square is nothing but 1156. In the previous case, we found out a perfect square which is just less than this number. Now we are finding a number which is perfect square which is just greater than this number. That means a perfect square which is just greater than 1150 is 1156. 1156 square root is nothing but 34. That means n is equal to 34. Why are we changing approximate symbol to equal to symbol? That I already explained in the previous example. Follow the same analogy for this example also. You will definitely not get a number which is less than 34, or you will definitely not get a number which is greater than 34. That proof is already given to you in the previous problem. Right? Now, what is the meaning of n is equal to 34? N is equal to 34 means I am writing 34 natural numbers on the board. Initially I am writing 34 natural numbers on the board. The sum is summation 34. Summation 34 is 34 into 35 by 2. It is 17 into 35. 17 into 35. 17 into 30. It is 510. 17 into 5. It is 17 into 5 is 85. 510 plus 85 is 595. That means if you observe here, before I forgot to add a number, I wrote 34 numbers and I found the sum of those 34 numbers. The sum was supposed to be 595. But by mistake, I forgot to add one number. Because I forgot to add one number, I got the sum as 575. Actual sum should have been 595. But I got the sum as 575. What is the number which you forgot to add? 20. Answer for this question is, the number which you forgot to add is 20. How many numbers were written on the board? 34 numbers were written on the board. Answer is 20, 34. Clear with the approach? It is the same way how you solve your 14 questions. One concept if you can understand, you can apply the same concept for multiple verticals. Clear with the approach? Please write on this question.